Welcome back. It is Saturday, January 6th in the NBA. My three best bets are on the way. Let's recap yesterday, one of the worst NBA slates I have ever seen. It was a 2-6 day for us. Sure, our picks were absolute trash. And yeah, that happens. But it's really hard to cash picks when you got every single game being a blowout. The only really games that we were involved in that were close, Emmanuel Quickly and Marcus Smart, we cashed our picks in those ones. The other ones, Brunson scored 29 points. He had a really good game shooting the ball, but the Knicks smoked the Sixers. He didn't play the final few minutes of that game. Pacers and Hawks same game parlay never stood a chance as they were down by 30 at half. Anthony sucked, but they also got smoked, kind of due to him sucking though. And Brandon Ingram, we added his points. He just wasn't aggressive. That feels like that's how he's been the past few games. I don't know what's going on there. Then Brandon Miller sucked. He went 3 for 13, and Mikal Bridges just sucks. It wasn't just a one-game sample size. He's really sucking. He can't figure out how to put the ball in the basket. A terrible day for us. I know the last few weeks have sucked. We have been absolutely terrible, and we've had, we had a 7-2 run the past 2 days, all wiped out by that 2-6 day. I think going forward, I will be limiting myself to 5 picks maximum. Today, I got 3 of them, 5 picks max. No reason to be forcing more units onto a slate than we don't need to. I know, obviously, we could have, massive 8-0 days, but rather minimize those losses and maximize our returns. So just a terrible day. Let's move on. And we actually have not just the NBA, we have NFL to bet on today. And NBA, while it has been cold, NFL, we've been scorching hot. It feels like we can never get them going at the same rate where they're both scorching hot. It's like one has to take back from the other. But the NFL, we've been on a crazy good run. And we posted our video last night for Saturday's best bets. I got 2 of them for there. We're on a 21-8 run in the NFL. We have made 23.5 units since Thanksgiving. So like in a little over a month, we've made almost 25 units in the NFL. So definitely go check that out. We got 2 picks over there. And hopefully we can go 2-0 on the NFL slate. We'll have some more picks Sunday morning for Sunday slate of games. There also is a free square live on Parlay Play right now for Gardner Minshew to get 1 yard. So if you've never signed up for Parlay Play, this is not only for new users, it's for everyone out there. I showed how I'm using it in that NFL video, but it is a free square for a guy to get 1 yard. He'll get that done even if you don't watch NFL. He's going to get 1 yard. So take advantage of that. If you are new to Parlay Play, make sure you sign up using our code COS so they match your first deposit up to $100. So you get the potential of $100 free dollars. I showed how I'm using that parlay in that NFL video posted last night, but you could combine some NBA picks we talked about in this video too. Also, my last note, if you want to watch your bets get caked in just by watching the games, hey, sign up for DraftKings and they'll give you free NBA League Pass. I normally watch the games as is, but if you don't have League Pass, super cool. That's how you watch all the NBA games. And DraftKings kind of tack that onto their normal offer where they're already giving you $150 in bonus bets when you sign up and bet $5. They'll also give you a League Pass too for the rest of the season. So if you want to sign up for that, details down below. But you guys came for some winners, and we need to bounce back in the worst way. It's a 4-game slate. I got 3 picks. I really like the 3 picks I have. I really like the picks yesterday. They just didn't go down, mostly due to blowout. Let's dive into the 3 picks today. I'm going to start with one of the biggest games of the day. Obviously, there's only 4 as the Boston Celtics go on the road to take on the Pacers. And I really like Jaylen Brown in this matchup. Over 26.5 points plus rebounds, minus 115 on DraftKings. Would not be surprised if a lot of people are on this. And I honestly, normally every time they play the Pacers, I take this pick because Jaylen Brown notoriously cooks the Pacers. Now, you look at Brown, who's coming off a couple bad games. Now, if his line does bump up to 27.5, take a peek at his 30.5 PRAs. If the difference is only 3, I lean towards the PRA line, but if the difference is 4, probably go to points plus rebounds. Now, on the season, Brown is averaging 22.4 points per game and 5.1 rebounds per game. That's 27.5 points plus rebounds, which is above this line. So we're getting a line below what he averages on the season in a fast-paced matchup against the Pacers. You look at him, he is over this line in 19 of 32 games, 59%. He is under actually in 2 straight, though, with 21 and 16 points plus rebounds. Now, the 21 against the OKC Thunder, I can't really say, hey, he didn't try. He went 4 for 18, 0 for 8 from the three-point line. He couldn't buy a bucket. Now, yesterday against the Utah Jazz, didn't really have to do anything. Everyone was cooking the Jazz. He only played 27 minutes. However, in this game, I expect this one to be close. I know that's a big, bold statement after yesterday's NBA debacle, but the Celtics are on the road to face the Pacers, a team that has been able to keep games close. And while you could say, hey, the Celtics could blow them out, I don't see that happening. The Pacers could blow out the Celtics, but I also don't really see that happening either. And we saw them play earlier this season. Brown, 30 points and 9 rebounds. He did only play 31 minutes due to foul trouble. I think he fouled out in that game. But we've seen him really dominate this matchup. His last 9 games versus Indiana, 26.3 points per game and 7.9 rebounds per game. He's over this line in 8 of 9 versus them. The only miss, I think he played 25 minutes in that game. So he's really dominating this matchup. We obviously know the Pacers are a team that gives up a lot of points in the paint. And I kind of like Jaylen Brown when he's attacking the hoop a lot more than when he's just settling for threes. And I think that could maybe limit Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, maybe Derek and Drew Holiday's maybe, how well they dominate because they're, shooting a lot of threes, whereas Jaylen Brown does shoot threes, but does attack the hoop just like Jason Tatum. And actually, the Pacers have been a better defensive team over the past few weeks due to some lineup adjustments. So maybe they're able to slow down Tatum a little bit. I'm not saying they slow him down completely, but I just think this line's too low for Jaylen Brown in a matchup he has dominated. So I'll take his over 26.5 points plus rebounds. I really like the play. Over unders 248. Should be a lot of points and rebounds to go around given the fast-paced nature of this game. Also worth noting, Celtics are on a back-to-back. No guarantees everyone suits up. Heck, there's no guarantee Jaylen Brown suits up, but if they want to rest a guy like Derek White or heck even Kristaps, we'll obviously get a better chance at grabbing some rebounds and also getting some more usage for him. But let's move on to my second pick. It's going to be a Washington Wizard, a team that I don't really bet on a whole lot, but I see value in this line. It's Kyle Kuzma, the bobblehead back there, over 20.5 points, minus 115 on DraftKings. Now, typically for Kuzma, his line is sitting at about 22.5, 23.5. We're going to big downgrade here, big buy low spot for Kuzma. And while I said yesterday, I don't bet spreads. Yesterday, my spread lean was the Nets plus 5.5. They ended up covering and winning outright. I don't bet spreads because I just don't like losing on the last second hook of some garbage time layup. It's agonizing. I like to bet on just one guy to do his job. However, the Wizards are a team that has gotten destroyed in 2 straight games. Going up back at home, facing the Knicks team. The Knicks have looked really, really good the last 3 since OG Anunoby came in. And now they're 9.5 point favorites. Everyone's going to hammer in on the Knicks. I would not be surprised if the Knicks mess around and, they're losing in this game, or even this game's closer than people expect. I know no one wants to bet the Wizards today. I expect no one to bet them, and I would not bet them with my own money. However, I do think the Wizards keep this game close, given they're returning back home, and that plays perfectly because we need Kyle Kuzma out there for as many minutes as possible. Now, Kuzma this season is averaging 22.4 points per game. He's over this line in 22 of 34 games, so a very good hit rate. Now, he is under in 2 straight games with 16 and 9 points versus Cleveland on 12 and 14 field goal attempts. I don't even think he played 25 minutes in either of those 2 games. Obviously, didn't shoot the ball too well. Kuzma actually has only gone under this line in 3 straight games once this year. And I expect him to be better at home, where he's played better, typically does a better job getting the ball to his teammates, but I still think he puts the ball in his basket here today. Now, Kuzma actually has played well versus the New York Knicks. And I know you could say, hey, aren't these games in Madison Square Garden? Obviously, players show up more against them. Actually, really, 3 of these 4 games have been at home with the Washington Wizards. But his last 4 games versus New York, 19, 23, 27, and 40 points. And he's attempted 21, 23, 24, and 27 field goal attempts. Now, obviously, only one of those games came this year. He attempted 21 shots, scored 19 points. Look, if Kuzma shoots 21 times tonight, I will take my living. I'll live with whatever happens, because I think that at the end of the day, if you're taking a guy to score 21 points and he shoots that many times, you got to live with the bet, regardless of who the player is. And well, yes, the Knicks are very good defensively. They sucked in December. They've been really good with OG Anunoby. Worth noting, though, when the Knicks, they're really good at playing defense. However, I don't necessarily think that applies a ton to star players, because I think the Knicks defense is so good that it reduces the role players like Denny Avdija, Jordan Poole, those guys from going off. I think the ball will end up in Kuzma's hands being like, yo, we couldn't get a shot. Go create your own shot. Get the free throw line. Do your thing. And that's why we've seen a lot of star players actually have success against the Knicks. Since OG Anunoby arrived, 5 players have attempted 15 or more shots, pretty much the stars on each team. Those guys scored 35, 29, 26, 27, and 30 points. You saw Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey both go over. The role players did nothing yesterday. Now, that did also not include DeMar DeRozan, who scored 28 points on 13 field goal attempts. And well, yes, OG Anunoby, a really good defender. I love him. He's really transformed this Knicks defense. I think the ball is going to end up in Kuzma's hands, and you're going to be like, yo, we need you to get a bucket. And given that he's clanked every single shot the past 2 games, maybe he starts making some shots tonight. That's just law of regression. And we talked about, it's not just the last few games with Anunoby in the lineup. Like I said, since December 1st, 35 players have attempted 15 or more shots against the Knicks. 29 of 35 hit this over, scoring 21 plus points. Of the 6 unders, 4 of those guys scored 20 points on the dot, finishing on the hook. Now, obviously, Kuzma, I can't guarantee he shoots 15 times tonight. I can't. I don't shoot the ball for him, but he has had 15 plus shots in 29 of 33 games. It's been a matchup against the Knicks that he's been shooting a ton. I'd put more money on this play because I really like it, but I just don't want to lose to more than 1 unit, especially in a cold streak and on Kyle Kuzma and the Wizards, because we never know if they're going to keep any game competitive. I think this game's competitive, at least until the 4th quarter, which obviously will get Kuzma in for a few more minutes. So I really like Kyle Kuzma. I think his line should be 22.5, 23.5, but given that he sucked it up the last few games and that you could look at this game as a blowout, I do think that this line's a little bit lower than it should be. Give me Kyle Kuzma's over 20.5 points. Bobblehead man, we need you to step up. Now, hopefully he comes in with some ridiculous outfit. We need that. Now, my third play is going to be a guy that I expect a lot of people to be on again today. There's not a lot of games out there, so people are going to overlap with some picks. It's Chris Middleton of the Milwaukee Bucks over 21.5 points plus assists minus 115 on DraftKings. Now, I love his points in the assist line tonight. I don't mind his PRA line. However, Chris really hasn't been rebounding too well recently. I say that, and I bet you by halftime he has about 6 rebounds because that's just how it goes. But I think the points plus assists is a little bit easier to go to. Now, Middleton so far this season, averaging 14.6 points per game and 4.8 assists per game, good for 19.4 points plus assists in about 25 minutes of playing time. Now, that was with a lot of games on minutes restriction, but we saw prior to last game, his first game of a back-to-back, he only played the first half. He did have 17 points plus assists. Now, a lot of people were pissed because he kind of wrecked a lot of same-game parlays because they played in the first half and he didn't play the second half. I mean, they said he was going to be on a minutes restriction at the beginning of the game, so not really a surprise they rested him in the second half. But prior to that, he'd been really good, going over this line in 6 straight games with 25, 30, 27, or 37, 24, 27, and 26 points plus assists. So this has been a guy that's got his minutes restriction basically lifted. He's playing about 33 minutes a night, and if he gets that, I'm going to take my chances with Chris Middleton putting the ball in the basket or getting the ball to his teammates, because we saw in December when these two teams played, the Bucks are on the road now taking on Milwaukee. In that game, Middleton 20 points and 2 assists. So he got the job done, required a lot more points than the assists. But in that game, Giannis did his thing, 26 points. But really, Damian Lillard went off, 39 points and 11 assists. If Dame's going off, Chris Middleton doesn't get the ball as much, and that's just kind of how it goes. If your teammate's cooking, you just let them kind of go out there and keep cooking. I mean, you don't want to mess with the mojo, but Damian Lillard not looked good these past few games, and while the Rockets have been an up-and-down defense recently, I think this game is close. Milwaukee really hasn't been blowing out teams, and I think Chris plays his normal minutes, plays 33-ish minutes, and I think he has a good game. He's averaging 15.6 points per game and 5.2 assists per game, 20.8 points plus assists on the road this season, and only 25 minutes per game. He's also over this line in 6 straight versus the Rockets. Granted, they're a much different team they are today than they have been the last 5 matchups, but still worth noting he's been playing really well against them. Chris also did go to college at Texas A&M, which he played there for 3 years. That's about 90 minutes away from Houston. I really don't think that plays into here because Chris is not from Texas. However, they'd go to Texas A&M. Maybe he has some college, but he's showing up to the game, and maybe he shoots a little bit more. I don't know. We're looking for any straw we can take. We'll certainly take it. But I think this line's still a little bit too low for Chris Middleton and his usage and how many minutes he's playing. So I'll take his over 21.5 points plus assists. Really doing a good job getting the ball to his teammates. But we know Chris Middleton could score 25 points on any given night. He's shown that before. So those are my 3 favorite picks of the day. I know it's been a cold streak these past 2 weeks. I really don't have any explanation for it. Sometimes it's just players, not playing well. Sometimes bad reads. It is everything combined. But I'm very confident we're going to turn things around. We always do. We always bounce back, and I'm confident we're going to have another 15-0 run. You just got to stay steady. Just buy the dip, and we're going to get a hot soon. I just know it's going to happen. We're due one of those hot streaks. That we always have a couple hot streaks per year. We had that first one at the beginning of the year. Really struggled to get another one going, but I know it's going to come. So just stay tuned for that. If you want to check out my favorite NFL picks, I'll link the video on the screen. I got 2 picks for Saturday's slate. We'll have some more picks for Sunday posted Sunday morning, so stay tuned for that. You guys have a wonderful Saturday. Let's hopefully have a bounce back day, and I will see you guys once again tomorrow morning with some more picks. A reminder, sign up for Parlay Play. They have that free square for Gardner Minshew. Number 2, DraftKings. If you want to sign up for them, get $150 in bonus splits plus NBA League Pass. Check that out too. It's Austin signing out. Let's have a better day than yesterday. Let's bring out the brooms. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Peace.